here in Montpelier at Aubuchon Hardware store, and today we're going to spend the afternoon with Don Ruggles, also known as Tip.
When I was a young kid, I was very curious. I asked a lot of questions. I had no idea I was going to go into the hardware business either. You all set, John? All right.
Tip has been working in hardware stores for almost 5 decades, and everybody here knows him and loves getting help from him.
He's just been a staple of Montpelier for forever. You know, you come in here and he's just very, extremely helpful.
Tip, wow. He's an amazing guy. People come in and they ask for him by name, you know. He has a following and it's awesome.
We were waiting to talk to Tip because he knows his stuff, and there was a line.
You want a bag? All right, see you, John. Real name is Donald, okay, but everybody calls me Tip.
So Tip has worked in hardware for almost 5 decades, first at Summers Hardware, which closed in 2009, and now next door.
Well, I've known Tip since he was next door.
This is the original Summers.
Wow, so this was a wall.
This was a wall from front to back. This was our old store. Of course, it's been all changed into the paint department. 2 totally separate stores. They weren't together. Technically, the full name was F.I. Summers & Sons Company Incorporated, and then we just went by Summers. That's my dad.
That's your dad.
He was 50 years there before he had left the store. Just learn from my father and learn from Harold Summers. You got to do this stuff. You just can't learn. You know, I mean, textbooks are great. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of the stuff it's hands-on.
So when it was Summers Hardware and you were here, you guys would have this thing that you would do. When there wasn't a price on it, you would say, $2 bill.
So I went to work part-time in 7th and 8th grade. So I'd go in and just watch them and just learn. So the sophomore year, I put in for a work permit. I'd get out of school at like 12:30, I'd go home, grab a quick bite to eat, and then I'd come into the store. So sophomore, junior, and senior year, I only did my morning classes because I would come in and I'd work the store from like 1 o'clock to 5. Old-fashioned hardware, come in, people hang around, talk to you. I mean, because we're a small community. And of course, I was on the fire department for close to 30 years. In 1984, when we first put a computer in.
And that was news in
this
1984.
Was big.
This is the original.
This is the original ceiling repainted. Yep, I'm the one in the middle, yeah. And again, family business. That's my uncle. That's my sister. That was my dad. That was Esther. This was my stepsister.
The community really rallied.
Oh, they rallied around us, definitely. I think it's just hometown, you know. Of course, we know everybody. You know, we've lived here all our lives. Back 2009, you know, we ended up closing the store. We weren't able to get supplies and keep going for the people. And then I came to work for Aubuchon's here that same year. And I've been here ever since. Everything else is gone, well, except for these poles. Those were Summers. Yeah, it does. Brings back memories. Good and bad.
Hi, Joy.
Where'd you go, buddy? Huh? Our second cat, Almond, he's a little skittish the last couple of days. You know, and Aubuchon's is a family. It's owned by the Aubuchons. You know, it's just they have different people run their shops. It's a little different, but, you know, they're just a bigger concern than what we were, so. Every day, you know, is something different. The customer comes through that door, and it's interesting to see what they've got. The lower the number catches more stuff.
Okay.
See, like if you went to this one, you could go down to 5.
Okay. Just the longevity, Tip really knows what he's doing, and he spends a lot of time, like you just saw with this water filter. Not only did I get the right thing, but I know more about it.
You never stop learning. You learn everything. Every day you come in, you learn something.
If you work in the hardware store, you know, you really have to be a lifelong learner. There's about 5, 6 different names for the same thing, I swear. You know, then there's the thing that goes into the thing that goes over here, and you're like, oh yeah, that's this washer over here. You know, there's a lot to learn, and we learn from each other. You know, Tip has been such a great resource to learn from.
And I've met a lot of good people. You know, you try to help people out, and it saves them money. They have one you can put right on your sink. We fix a lot of things over the years. People come in, you know, if they got a plumbing fitting or a faucet they can't get apart, we try to get it apart. You should be okay.
Okay, I'll give it a whirl.
If not, you can always bring that back and we can go back to the metal.
And I only learned the value of all of this when I became a homeowner, when you have somebody in a hardware store who can actually help you kind of figure out what you actually do need.
But we didn't have the right tool, but he had it in his truck.
The guy just borrowed a big pair of pliers from me.
Or I need a stud finder, just borrow this one.
And he left, got the tool, came back, loaned it to the guy. And then I was like,
Yeah, having somebody like that in a small town like Montpelier is essential, I think, because you have this institutional knowledge of people. You know, they recognize you, you come in, they know who you are.
but I would say this guy gives like, my observation as a customer is gives like 110%.
Joy! Joy, joy, joy!
Did you say hi? Did you say hi? They do take catnip off the thing.
Of course they do.
This one here loves socks. He drags them around with him.
Oh,
Yes, you do,
man.
don't you? You're all set.
All right, beautiful.
All right.
Thanks, man, as
No
always.
problem. Thank you. Have a good one. When I'm done, you know, I'll go do something else, try something else that I haven't done over the last close to 50 years. Who knows what comes next? Yep, that's very true.
Thanks, Tip, for spending the day with us, and we will get stuck in Vermont with you again real soon.
All right, I heard my name. Somebody got a hot tip about Tip.
There you go.
I did.
Now
I
you're
got
gonna
a
be a
tip.
celebrity.
Literally, the email line was tip about tip.
Nice.
Yep, they are crazy cats, aren't you, buddy? Huh? It's almost time for lunch.
It's so nice having kitties at a hardware store.